feel as if I know you, having looked at all your YouTube videos. I think I know you very well. They're very good, I have to say.
Unofficial face of Freefoam.
No, they're very good. I must admit, I was impressed with the one that you did about how to protect people while you're working there in the home and everything. I thought that was very good.
Yeah, I think the homeowners, they appreciate it as well, I think, the fact that we're doing things like that.
So as far as you're concerned, Ashley, is it roofline that you're particularly doing now? I know you've got a second team working, haven't you, doing windows and doors and things. I mean, it's probably worth talking a little bit about your background. I mean, you started up, what, 2012, 2013?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, 2012 started off, small independent, on my van straight away, signed written all properly as a business. NG faced up at guttering because that was predominantly my background as a joiner. That was what I was trained mostly in. So that's where we've gone. And then as the years have gone on, I mean, I can fit windows, but I decided to concentrate on the roofline side of things, and effectively I've built that side of the business up. And then as the years have gone on, rather than effectively giving those jobs away, the window inquiries, the door inquiries, rather than passing them on to other people, I've now brought it in-house, and so rebranded the company, brought it all in, changed the name, and so now we're effectively much bigger and taking on more jobs because of that. So we're keeping it all in-house now, and it's just managing the demand now for what there is, because roofline has always been, and I think it may always be, the predominant side of our business. I don't know if it'll ever change more than a 50-50 split amongst windows and doors, but the demand is creeping in more and more for windows and doors.
And also, just looking again at your videos, I see that cladding is becoming a big thing for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's maintenance free, and I think I said in the videos, it's a big contender against like render, for example. People having the house rendered, or what are the other alternatives? Cladding, because cladding it's maybe maintenance free more than render, because let's say, for example, your render gets dirty, you're not really going to go up there and scrub it with a brush, whereas the cladding, you can hose it off. Again, we get quite a lot of inquiries with people who have got brick houses and they want to just modernise it and freshen it up, so we can go and put cladding on the front of that and it will transform the house. We've done quite a few of those recently.
So can you do that? I mean, if they're, these sort of, what do you call it, sort of gravel rendered or whatever, can you actually clad those as well then?
Yeah, you can clad those, as long as the building, you can clad any of it really, as long as you put a waterproof barrier in there. But you'll find like a general house it's already a brick construction, it's already got this waterproof barrier, so you can literally fit straight onto the brick with the timbers and then the necessary trims, etc. And then you've got a new cladded front of your house that it transforms it.
I mean, you're based in Nottingham. I mean, how far around is your customer base?
We've gone as far as Dunstable, just outside Luton before. That was a few years ago, and that's more as a recommendation through a friend. Whereas we don't do any advertising, so it's only what Google will show people when they're searching for us. We don't spend any money on any advertising anywhere, even for like first page ranking. We've just got a well-ranked website that's kept up to date.
And presumably, though, I mean, if you're part of the installer scheme with Freefoam, you obviously get a lot of leads from them, I presume.
Yeah, we get free leads from Freefoam. An example of the last two cladding jobs that we've won were both leads from Freefoam. We actually received 3 all over the space of a week, and they were all in the same postcode area as well. So I went out, I quoted all 3 of those on the same day, on a Saturday. We were successful in 2 of them. We've done both of those. Both customers are happy. Both have said how happy they are that they'll recommend us. And yeah, that's passed on through Freefoam from being a registered installer.
Right. Over to you, Louise, a bit about the installer scheme then, because obviously you've kind of masterminded this. I know you kind of control it, don't you?
Yeah, so when I joined here 10 years ago, the scheme was up and running. It started in 2002, but I've kind of pushed it forward really. So we have quite a range of materials that we offer registered installers, so they can go out selling. brochures and the usual things that, you know, window companies offer. And then, but we introduced about 8 years ago one of the consumer websites, it was called My Roofline Matters, but we've actually renamed it fairly recently to myfascia.co.uk. That was really to do with Google rankings and Google searches, because not many people know the term roofline and they wouldn't be searching for it, but a lot of more people will know the term fascia. So that's our kind of roofline site. So we we really wanted to put it out there as an informational site, not too salesy. There's a lot of information on there to help people, kind of guide them towards the right decision, gives them information about the different types of fascia, the different colours. And then obviously there's a get a quote button on every page. So you know, we're looking to push people through to get a quote, but it's not overly salesy. And then what happens is we get that information in here at Freefoam, and then we will pass those leads out to registered installers like Ashley. We do that on a geographical basis. So we'll look at the postcode of the homeowner and we'll look at our database and find an installer local to them. You know, we have a list of installers that we know will respond quickly, who've got all our marketing material. So it works really well, actually. And then a few years later, we introduced the cladding site. So the branding's very similar on both, very similar look. But again, it's just focused on cladding. Again, giving people a lot of information, the opportunity to order samples, look at different colour options. Yeah, so we do really well with it. You know, we get a good number of leads per month. We do some advertising on Facebook, so we promote it on Facebook and Google Ads. So, and then, but we get a lot of organic searches as well. So it's just built up over time, really. So it's one of the main things that we offer, you know, the main reasons people become a Freefoam registered installer.
As far as sales goes, is technology going to come more into it? I'm thinking particularly following the lockdown and things, and people are using things like we are now with Teams and things and Zoom and so on. Are you using technology for quotations, or for people to be able to use, obviously, the Freefoam site, look at materials, choose what they're wanting? I mean, do you use that?
Yeah, there's a few things. You could even just say as simple as a mobile phone, because I might speak to a customer, and for example, there might be, you know, they could be on the other side of town from me, and they're asking for a quote on something simple. So say like a 3-sided semi-detached house, but for that, we don't really have a standard set price for that type of house. But based on that, that is probably one of the only properties that I can give a rough price on, because they are quite similar to one another. So even something as simple as I will say to the customer, if you can send a photo over, I may be able to give you a price based on that. So even just a customer sending a photo, it helps. In terms of like for the cladding, for example, a customer can go online on the Freefoam website and look at the different colours of cladding through a home visualizer, so they can select a different colour on the sample house that's on the website, and then they can see the colours based on that.
Tarek, you mentioned colour there. So what is the most popular colour when it comes to roofline now?
If you'd have asked that on a front door, I'd have definitely given you a certain colour. In terms of roofline, obviously grey has picked up its pace over the last couple of years. One thing that I normally say is don't change it, don't stray too far from what it already is, because a house would have been built with that in mind of the colour. So if a house has got, for example, let's say rosewood fascias, and then the customer was thinking about changing it to white, I'd maybe say, oh, the white might not complement the brick as much. The rosewood probably complements it because it might be a red brick. But on the same token, I have had a customer who said, we want to change the fascia and the windows to grey, and I was a bit sceptical of it. I said, oh, the bricks are quite red. I'm not sure if it's a safe option. You know, maybe stick to the rosewood colour. But we went with the customer's decision. We changed it to anthracite grey, and it did look nice.
What about the whole relationship between yourself and Freefoam? I mean, obviously it's got to be quite close. They're the ones who are manufacturing for you. I mean, is it a very close relationship that you have, or is it sort of arm's length? How does it work?
Well, you got to remember, I maybe shouldn't be dealing direct with Freefoam because I'm not buying what Freefoam aren't doing. Freefoam aren't selling to the end user; they're obviously distributing it out. So my first port of call normally would be my supplier. So if, for example, I wanted to do a stock inquiry about something or ask about a certain product, or if I had a problem with something, my first port of call generally would be from who I bought it from my supplier because they've got the link with Freefoam. But over the years, as the way things have worked out, and because the only jobs that we do, they're all Freefoam materials. Obviously, I've got to know Louise over the last couple of years. The local rep, I've got to know the local rep. So if I have got a query or a problem or an inquiry, then I can just ring Louise because I've got Louise's number. I can ring Simon, who's the local rep, because I've got his number. So it is quite a close relationship, really. For example, on the big cladding job that we did in Derby, which we started before Christmas, I was a little bit unsure on the ventilation aspect of the cladding because it was a really big job that we'd taken on. I'd never done one that size before, and using the products that we were using, I wanted to make sure that the ventilation was correct so that we can offer the guarantee that Freefoam are offering us to offer. So I spoke to the local rep Simon, and he actually came down to the job, met me on the job, gave me his opinion on it, and then we went from there. We was able to order the ventilation for the areas that we needed it, so that we can then offer a guarantee that Freefoam are offering, so that we can back it up and make sure that it's fitted correctly, so that, you know, should there ever be a problem, we know that everyone's covered all the way along. So it's good to have that close relationship that way.
So what are the future now? We're out of lockdown, things are starting up, it's busy out there. Do you think this is going to continue, or are we going to find that it kind of slows off again?
I don't know. I think the talk at the minute is that a lot of people are spending holiday cancellation money and possibly some doing mortgage deferral money, loans, mortgages, stuff like that. So people have taken advantage of that and then deciding to spend the money on their homes instead. Obviously, people have been at home for so long. Not everyone, but some people have been at home for so long. Maybe they're spending more time in the house. They're looking up. Obviously, we had a nice spell of weather. Maybe they've been outside looking up at the roof line and thinking that could do with changing. Looking through the windows while it's raining, thinking, oh, they could do with changing. I don't know. Like I said before, I don't think it's ever been so busy. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to slow down. Maybe this is just a busy spell because people have, maybe they've started to go back to work and they've got the money from, the ways that I've said, they've been getting the furlough money while they've been sat at home. So effectively, they've got more money in the bank because it's not costing them to go to work. They're not spending money on fuel. The car insurance is still getting paid, but there's not wear and tear on the vehicles. They might not be travelling on the train, so they're saving money that way. So they are spending the money. It may resume back to normal. I don't know if it's going to take a dip. And obviously people are saying, is there going to be a recession? We need to tighten our buckles. Next year is going to be hard. But based on the last, for me, 3 weeks, it's skyrocketed. So,
well, I appreciate your time that you've given me to talk to me today, Ashley, and you, Louise, and wish you both the very best of good fortune as we move forward.
No, thank you very much. Nice to speak to you.
Very much. Yeah.
Bye to you both.
Thanks a lot.